Good evening, the time now is 11 p.m. Our top stories. Sudan's ousted leader Omar al-Bashir being held in military hospital, and all 30 Malaysians in Sudan have safely left for Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Plus, as fears of fresh COVID-19 looms, Sarawak awaits Putrajaya's decision on mask mandate. Hello there, you're now with me, Douglas Elliott, and you're now tuning in to TVS Nightline. We begin with this. Sudan's former military leader Omar Hassan al-Bashir is being held in a military hospital in the capital city of Khartoum under recommendation of medical staff, just before the clashes between the army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF. The army confirmed on Wednesday. Al-Bashir, who ruled Sudan for 3 decades, was removed from power by the military in April 2019 following mass protests against his rule. The former president was held in a Kober prison in Khartoum in December of 2019 after being found guilty of corruption. The prison was attacked during fighting between the two military groups, which led to a jailbreak on Sunday with thousands of inmates escaping. The release of about 25,000 convicted criminals added to a growing sense of lawlessness in Khartoum, where residents have reported worsening insecurity with widespread looting and gangs roaming the streets. Al-Bashir came to power on June 30th, 1989, after staging a military coup against the government of Prime Minister al-Sadiq al-Mahdi and ruled the country under what he named it as the National Salvation Revolution.
Evacuations from Sudan have been underway since Tuesday when the Sudan Armed Forces and paramilitary Rapid Support Forces agreed to a 72-hour ceasefire. At Port Sudan on Tuesday, dozens waited to board the French frigate Lorraine, with evacuees waited for over 12 hours to cross into Egypt after arriving at Sudan's Arkeen border, crossing at around 3 a.m. local time on Tuesday morning. Buses and people queued outside the crossing for hours. On Wednesday, planes carried evacuees from Sudan to Istanbul and Paris. Over 100 Turks have evacuated by Turkish airline passenger plane from Addis Ababa after the evacuees had reached to Ethiopian capital overland from Khartoum. Foreign powers have evacuated thousands of diplomats and private citizens in recent days, including over 1,600 people from 54 countries helped out by Saudi Arabia. Sudanese, along with citizens of neighboring countries, have also been leaving en masse. More than 10,000 people crossed into Egypt from Sudan in the past 5 days, with an estimated 20,000 who have entered Chad. Others have fled to South Sudan and Ethiopia despite difficult conditions there.
Meanwhile, all 30 Malaysians stranded in Sudan's capital of Khartoum have safely left Port Sudan for Jeddah, Saudi Arabia earlier today. Malaysia's foreign ministry said they left on board a Saudi naval vessel after an arduous 30-hour journey by land from Khartoum.
Wisma Putra also extended its sincere appreciation to the governments of Saudi Arabia and UAE for making the evacuation a success. The statement said that in the spirit of compassion, Malaysia also assisted nationalities from Cambodia, Palestine, Philippines, Singapore, Sudan, Thailand, and the USA to safely leave Sudan under the close supervision and efforts of the Malaysian evacuation operation. So far, more than 400 people have been reported killed and more than 3,500 injured since the armed conflict between the Sudanese Armed Forces and the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF) broke out on April 15th.
As fears of fresh COVID-19 looms, Sarawak awaits the decision from Putrajaya on the return of the mandatory face mask mandate in schools. Sarawak Disaster Management Committee SDMC Chairman and Deputy Premier Dato Amar Douglas Uga Umba said the precautionary move will be decided once the COVID-19 situation in the state has been assessed.
We are waiting for the decision from KL. After that, our SDMC will have a discussion. We have to assess our situation. At the moment, our number is still manageable, still low, and we hope continue to be low.
As a precaution, he advised those who are unwell and experience symptoms to immediately seek treatment at the nearest health facility in fear of COVID-19 related. His comment came after Health Minister Dr. Zaliha Mustafa suggested in making face mask wearing in schools mandatory to avoid a resurgence of COVID-19 due to the new variant known as XBB.1.16 or Arcturus.
The Sarawak Trade and Tourism Office in Brunei, or STATOP, is set to open its doors by the end of this year. The second of such office to operate after Singapore, it would serve as the gateway for Sarawak to penetrate the international market.
Kita menjangkakan pejabat itu akan dapat beroperasi selewat-lewatnya pada hujung tahun ini, dan saya pun dah pergi ke tempat itu di Brunei, dan kita nak tambah lagi ruang pejabat itu. Sekurang-kurangnya 2 tingkat lah. Di sana nanti kita akan adakan exhibition hall-nya, dan juga untuk mengetahui peluang-peluang apa yang dapat dilaksanakan sekali dari segi tourism sector, dan juga on the trade, bilateral trade, dan peluang-peluang pelaburan di antara satu dan negara Brunei dan negeri kita khususnya.
In addition, Brunei will also enter a trilateral agreement with Sarawak and Sabah in a joint promotion to make the region as a major tourism destination, noting that with Brunei's well-intensive air connectivity combined with Sarawak's connected road network and airports, it will attract more visitors to explore the interior areas of Sarawak.
Dia punya air connectivity lebih meluas, lebih meluas, dan kita kalau dapat bekerjasama, Brunei menjadi international hub, dan kita sokong dengan penerbangan ke luar bandar seperti ke Bario, ke Kelalan dan sebagainya.
In January, Brunei agreed for Sarawak to open STATOP in Seri Begawan City. The matter was informed by Brunei during the Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim's visit to the Sultanate, which was also attended by the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg.
Get this, in Singapore, Sarawak's Emperor is the main catch at the FHA Food and Beverage Fair 2023. In its Facebook post, Sarawak Trade and Tourism Office Singapore, or STATUS, said that visitors thronged to catch the King of the River on its first day of exhibition, and said that a 6-kilogram Emperor was sold just a few hours after the fair was open, exemplifying the need for Sarawak to establish more trade and tourism office elsewhere. STATUS said 38 Sarawakian companies are now taking part in Singapore's largest food show. Professionals and young adults are encouraged to cultivate the spirit of volunteerism by joining non-governmental organizations and NGOs. Deputy Premier of Sarawak Dato Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said, through such involvement, this would increase the spirit of unity in society.
Saya berharap golongan profesional, para belia-belia wanis akan dapat menyertai pertubuhan seperti Perkim ini dan juga pertubuhan-pertubuhan lain kerana inilah platform yang dapat kita gunakan untuk kita menyuburkan lagi semangat sukarelawan itu. Dan dalam masa yang sama, semangat peduli-mempeduli di antara satu dengan yang lain. Semangat kejiranan itu, semangat kita hidup dalam satu keluarga, semangat kita hidup dalam satu masyarakat dengan mengamalkan nilai-nilai yang baik serta untuk mempertingkatkan lagi hubungan di antara satu dengan yang lain.
Awang Tengah hopes that organizations and associations in Sarawak can collaborate to carry out programs that are in line with the state government's policies.
Dan saya pun mahu melihat semua pertubuhan persatuan kalau dapat mereka berkolaborasi di antara satu dengan lain dan juga dengan jabatan-jabatan tertentu. Banyak program-program yang dapat kita buat secara berasingan, banyak juga program yang dapat kita buat secara berusaha-sama, berkolaborasi di antara satu dengan yang lain.
He met with the media after officiating the 30th anniversary celebration of the Perkim Lawas branch at the Lawas Indoor Stadium on Wednesday. Also present were Perkim Lawas branch chairman Datuk Dayang Morliah, Datuk Awang Daud, Lawas Member of Parliament Datuk Henry Sum Agong, Political Secretary to the Sarawak Premier Awangku Jinal Abedin Datuk Pengiran Jawa.
Powerlifting, swimming, boccia, wheelchair, badminton, and chess will be among the targeted medals by Sarawak's para-athletes in the ASEAN Para Games 2023 in Cambodia from June 3rd till 9th. Minister of Women, Family and Community Development Dato Sri Fatima Abdullah said the state contingent is vying for 6 golds, 1 silver and 6 bronzes. Fatima added that Sarawak Paralympic athletes' strength lies in powerlifting, with a target set of 3 golds and 2 bronzes. And over 900 citizenship applications that have been pending in Sarawak are expected to be resolved by June of this year. Sarawak's Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, Dato Sri Fatima Abdullah said the decision will be finalized by the Minister of Home Affairs, Dato Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail, who has promised to address the backlog of applications.
She said this during an Aidilfitri open house held at her residence in Kuching on Wednesday. Fatima further disclosed that some issues related to Section 15A of the Citizenship Act will be clarified by the Home Affairs Ministry and that the applications should be expedited as the lack of citizenship status can hinder children from accessing education. On April 19, Fatima announced that her ministry had approved 177 citizenship applications from Sarawak.
We'll be taking a short break, but coming up right after, Betong to play host to Mass Gawai Dayak celebration, plus MOH recalls Indonesian brand instant noodle and Penang white curry. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. This is TVS Nightline. Now, Taiwan will focus its military drills this year on combating a blockade of the island while preserving the fighting ability of its forces. According to Taiwan's Defense Ministry spokesperson Sun Li-fang, the measure is undertaken by taking into account China's recent war games, especially its recent military drills on Taiwan.
那么今年的汉光演习会置重点于精实战力保存、强化海上截击以及我们的护航能力，同时会验证我们国土防卫作战的一个效能跟坚韧后勤支援措施等等这些面向。那么并且会吸取乌俄战争的一些经验，以及当前敌情的威胁以及共军军事威慑的一个响应场景。那么借由演训呢，希望能够持续的提升
He said the drills will be split into two parts: tabletop drills conducted from May 15 to May 19, and mobilized forces conducted from July 24 to 28. These will also involve live fire exercises. Taiwan will also be increasing its military capabilities by investing in new weapons, including long-range missiles and drones.
那么本次我们演习当然依照共军他的一个犯台的一个威胁，还有就是他近期老台军演他的一个行动态样。好，那统裁部来设计严苛的响定，并且在这个电脑辅助指挥所演习或者是实兵演练的时候，来验证三军部队来执行防卫作战还有作战计划的一个执行。
The first attempt on a private moon landing has failed. The space mission was carried out by a Japanese startup, iSpace Incorporated, which stated that they have lost contact with its vessel, the Hakuto R Mission 1 or the M1 lander.
We already confirmed that we have established the communication until very end of the landing. However, now we lost the communication. So we have to assume that we could not complete the landing. Our engineers will continue to investigate the situation, and then we will update you the further information once we finish the investigation.
He said this during the live viewing event while being noticeably emotional when interviewed. This is the second failed attempt at private space development in just a week after SpaceX Starship rocket exploded after taking off from its launch pad. Even so, Japan's top government spokesperson Hirokazu Matsuno said the country wants iSpace to keep trying as its efforts were significant to the development of a domestic space industry. Japan, which has set itself a goal of sending Japanese astronauts to the moon by the late 2020s, has had some recent setbacks. The National Space Agency last month had to destroy its new medium-lived H-3 rocket upon reaching space after its second stage engine failed to ignite. Its solid-fuel Epsilon rocket also failed after launch in October. So far, only the United States, the former Soviet Union, and China have successfully landed on the moon. Even attempts by India and Israeli private company were unsuccessful in recent years.
Toy maker Mattel has launched its first Barbie doll with Down syndrome in an effort to make its iconic doll more inclusive. Now, unlike the others, the doll has a shorter frame and longer torso than the rest of its range, where the company is saying it was to help more children find a toy that represents them.
I've never ever Barbie with Down syndrome. It looks like me. And it's beautiful and I love it to pieces.
Mattel said it had worked with the National Down Syndrome Society in the United States to make the doll. The new doll face is also a rounder shape and has almond-shaped eyes, smaller ears, and a flat nasal bridge.
Elle est mignonne comme tout. J'aime bien ses yeux obliques, sa petite taille, et elle est coquette comme moi.
Its palms even include a single line, a characteristic often associated with those with Down syndrome. The doll is also dressed in a puff-sleeve frock adorned with butterflies and flowers in yellow and blue colors associated with Down syndrome awareness. The doll wears a pink necklace with 3 upward chevrons representing the 3 copies of the 21st chromosome, as well as pink ankle, foot orthotics.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the eye on the world on the latest news updates both locally and internationally. More headlines anytime. Head to our website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. My name is Douglas Elliott. Thank you for watching.